Okay, so let's have a look at the app.py file, see if we can use these methods that we just created for the blog. The first thing to do would be to import blog, and we can stop importing posts just for now. And then we're creating a new blog. We're then writing the new post, which will ask us to enter the post details and save the post to MongoDB. We'll save the blog itself to MongoDB, and then we're going to, from database, we're going to get a blog from MongoDB, and the ID of the blog is going to be blog.id. This is a blog object here. This is because the ID gets generated, so we don't really want to be looking for it in the database and then copying and all that stuff. And then what we'll do is print blog.getPosts. And indeed, the method that we wrote for the blog is get from Mongo, which is different from the post method, which was called from Mongo. So let's rename it to from Mongo, and that way both have the same sort of convention for naming. Okay, let's press play and see what happens. The first thing that it does is it asks me for a post title, which is this new post line there. So my sample title for a post. And I add post content. This is a great day. Good luck with programming. Enter post date or leave blank for today. So leave blank for today, we didn't really program anything in for that, so that won't work. But the date, month, year could work. So let's try it out and see what happens. So 10 of 05 of 2015. And then indeed here you can see that wrote the post down, and the date time that was used was 2015, 5 for the month, 10 for the day, 00 for the date, for the times, because we didn't specify a time. And indeed that seems to have worked. So this is coming from the database, which is fantastic. Let's try to put in the leave blank for today, because that is what we told the user that could happen. So if they do leave it blank, what will happen is that it'll fail. So let's go to our blog and then add something in there for the leave blank. So if date equals empty, then date is datetime.utc now, which would be the default value for the date. Remember that, however, if we do pass a date here, such as none, and then, if we pass none there, then the post will fail to initialize because, or rather will be initialized with the date of none. So we want the date to be UTC now if it is blank, which is the current date. Okay, so let's try that again and see if that works. Sample post, sample content, and then I'm going to leave the date blank, and then that fails because of this. So now what it's doing is, if the date is empty, then it's setting the date to be UTC now, excellent, but then it is still trying to parse the date even though it does not need parsing. So what we'll do is else date equals that, and then date equals date. So what this does is, if the date is empty, then it sets it to be UTC now, and if it is not empty, then it sets it to be the parsed date, and then we pass that over to our initialize method. Let's play that again. And now we see that worked, and the date is indeed today's date, 20th of September. Do notice that when we do UTC now, the time also gets passed in, but that's not really a big problem. I think that is reasonable. If we are saying that we wrote this post in the past, we probably don't remember the exact time at which we wrote it, but if we are writing it today, then the time right now does make sense to include it. But anyway, that's up to you really to decide whether you want to include the date or not. If you do want to include times in the parsed string, you'll remember have to ask the user for a time as well. And you'll also have to investigate the strptime method to see how you can parse those times as well. It's really fairly simple, so I would not worry too much about it. You can go and look it up if you are interested, and I definitely recommend that you do if you want to just learn something a bit on the side there. It's quite simple to do. Okay, so this is how we would modify the new post in order to allow for blank dates, which would default to today. And we can see that the blog methods are indeed working. So in the next video, we're going to be working on the user menu that will allow them to open up their blog and things like that. So I'll see you in the next video.